The world distribution of the human population is controlled by density of the population, the number of people per square kilometer or number of persons per square miles. So this is actually controlled by again the economies of the regions and the resources, the location of the country, and the most important is the facilities or opportunities which are suitable for the human cluster. So here we are dealing with the today discuss the density of the human population. Now what is density? It is the measurement of the number of people per square kilometer. Population density, persons per square kilometer in South Asia was actually 350.18 in 2013. So it is one of the highest density of the world. Why? Because the persons are living in per square kilometer is large. So why? Because of the things which are suitable for agriculture. So that's why persons are living in the rural areas. लेकिन हम ये देखते हैं कि जो डेवलप वर्ल्ड है वहाँ पर अर्बन पॉपुलेशन में इस तरह की हमें डेंसिटीज़ मिलती हैं, बट उनके जो फार्म लैंड्स हैं या वो रूरल एरिया जहाँ पर रूरल पॉपुलेशन रहती है वहाँ पर स्क्वायर किलोमीटर पॉपुलेशन कम है. सो डेवलप वर्ल्ड एंड डेवलपिंग वर्ल्ड में इस तरह हम कुछ इख्तलाफ देखते हैं. So why? Because the developed economies में most of the persons are living in the urban areas, but in the developing world most of the people are living in the rural areas. So that is actually the difference between the two economies. Now this is world map and it shows the human population density. So it is actually controlled by the areas which are under the human clusters. तो हम यहाँ पर देखते हैं कि वही इलाके जहाँ पर डेंसिटी ज़्यादा हैं वो ममालिक हैं जो कि मेजर क्लस्टर्स में आते हैं. लाइक इन ईस्ट एशिया में आप देखें जापान, साउथ कोरिया, नॉर्थ कोरिया एंड चाइना. एंड इन साउथ एशिया इंडिया, पाकिस्तान, बांग्लादेश आर अंडर द हाई जो हैव डेंसिटी जोन्स में आते हैं. In Europe, again, we have the example of certain countries which are under the high densities. But one thing is very important here कि जब हम किसी भी मुल्क की बात करते हैं डेंसिटी की तो वहाँ पर जो है वो इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड लोग नहीं होते. यानी जो पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी है वो अनइवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड होती है क्योंकि सम एरियाज आर अंडर माउंटेन्स, सम आर अंडर प्लेन्स, some are under the water bodies, some are under the deserts. Like in Pakistan again, the Pakistan's 60% of the total area is under mountain and semi-mountain regions. But 40% जो है वहाँ पर plains भी हैं, deserts भी हैं, lowlands भी हैं. So अब plain and lowland में तो population है, but deserts में नहीं है. So same is the case with the USA जहाँ पर वाटर बॉडीज़ जो हैं मौजूद हैं और माउंटेन एरियाज़ भी हैं. उसका जो वेस्टर्न साइड है, ईस्टर्न साइड है, वहाँ पर माउंटेन्स हैं. सो दोज आर एक्चुअली द एरियाज़ विच आर अंडर लेस पॉपुलेशन. सो थिनली पॉपुलेटेड एरियाज़ वो होंगे जहाँ पर आपके माउंटेन्स हैं या डेजर्ट्स हैं. बट नो पॉपुलेशन उन एरियाज़ में जैसे वाटर बॉडी है, लेक है तो वहाँ पर नहीं होगी. सो इट मीन्स डेंसिटी जो है इज़ एक्चुअली कंट्रोल्ड बाय the suitable regions. So when we are discussing the densities of the population, human population, two things are very important here. Number one is the arithmetic population density. It is actually a density which is total area divided by the total number of population. Take the example of Egypt, which with a population of 71.1 million in 2002 has a seemingly moderate arithmetic population density of 185 persons per square mile. However, it is mostly in desert and the vast majority of the population is crowded into the valley and delta of the river Nile. It is estimated that 98% of the all Egyptian live on just 3% of the country's land. So the arithmetic population density figure is pretty well meaningless here. Number two is the type of the population density is the physiological population density. It is actually a population density relates the total population of a country or region to the area of cultivated land it contains. This is called the physiological density or physiological population density, defined as the number of people per unit area of agriculturally productive land. Now, this is the map of the Egypt. Here we can see that the darker shade represents the densely populated area of the country, and that is actually the river Nile area of the Egypt. And the rest of the Egypt is covered with desert. So, when we are discussing the physiological population density of any country, like we have the Egypt, although millions of people live in its great cities, Cairo and Alexandria, and smaller urban centers, the irrigated farmland is densely populated. When the entire population is divided in Egypt's confined arable land, the resulting physiological density figure for the year 2002 is 9,245 per square miles. This number is far more reflective of Egyptian population pressure, and it continues to rise rapidly despite Egyptian efforts to expand its irrigated farmland. Now, Pakistan ranks number 6 in the list of the countries by population. The population density in Pakistan is 233 people per square kilometer, and 37% of the total population belongs to the urban area. So again, Pakistan is a densely populated area of the world, but most of the regions are vacant, like desert area of Pakistan, जिसमें चोलिस्तान है, थरपारकर का एरिया है, थल डेजर्ट है, एंड इंटायर प्रोविंस ऑफ बलूचिस्तान जो है, क्योंकि वहाँ एरिड एंड सेमी एरिड टाइप ऑफ क्लाइमेट है, so that's why these areas are thinly populated regions of the country. But most of the population belongs to the Punjab and Sindh. Why? Because of the river land and the canal irrigation system, the urban centers where we have mining. Those are very important areas, like जैसे बलूचिस्तान में हम सुई की एग्जांपल देते हैं, तो जब गैस के डिपॉजिट्स वहाँ से निकले हैं, तो नाउ दिस एरिया बिकम वन ऑफ द population cluster of Balochistan. So these are the opportunities कि जहाँ पर resources हैं, जहाँ पर availability of soil which is suitable for agriculture है. So this is actually an example behind the population cluster.